This is my review of the Pink Floyd album Pulse. It was released in 1995 and produced by James Guthrie and David Gilmour. So this album, I didn't have the CD of it until recently. I'd always had this DVD before. I think I got it sometime in like 2006. And I watched it a lot growing up because it was really the only way I could see Pink Floyd live. I didn't have the internet, so I couldn't watch any of the like YouTube videos of them live. I couldn't find any other DVDs really. So this was the only thing I had if I wanted to watch like a Pink Floyd live thing. And I didn't get any of the albums from this like lineup live when back then because they were usually kind of expensive when I would see them, and I already had this DVD, so I was like, well, I don't want to get the CD. So I was always a little bit disappointed with it just because it was part of the like Roger Waterless years. I always was just disappointed that that was the kind of era that they chose to make live albums of. And I still kind of, I don't know, feel that way to an extent about this one. I'm definitely a lot more familiar with this album than I am Delicate Sound of Thunder since I just recently got it, that one. And I haven't really listened to the whole original version of that, but I do think that the kind of remastered version of it sounds a little bit better, and I think it might sound a little better than this, I don't know. I would honestly need to listen to that again, but like Delicate Sound of Thunder, they have like an army of backing musicians here, so it's kind of hard to tell like who's playing what, I feel like. And but as far as songs goes, I like this one better than Delicate Sound of Thunder because that one had a lot of momentary lapse on it, and those songs just aren't that good. So this one has more songs from Division Bell, which I think those songs are a little bit better. I actually never watched the side of, or well, most of the disc of this that had the songs from Division Bell. I would just kind of skip those. I guess it does have a couple from Momentary Lapse, but there's some of the better ones. Of course, it does have Keep Talking, which is like one of the worst ones off Division Bell, so I guess there's that. But yeah, I always like didn't watch those songs when I was growing up. I just watched Shiny Crazy Diamond, and then the ones I knew off other albums, like One of These Days and all the Dark Side stuff. So I'd only really watch those because I didn't have the albums Division Bell and Momentary Lapse yet, so I didn't know any of the songs from around this era, and I just like I got into Learning to Fly off this album. That was like the only new song I would listen to, and I still kind of like the version on here better than the version on Momentary Lapse. The CD version and the DVD both have kind of a slight differences in the tracks. The CD has Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Astronomy Domine, What Do You Want From Me, Learning to Fly, Keep Talking, Coming Back to Life, Hey You, A Great Day for Freedom, Sorrow, High Hopes, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 on the first disc, and then the second has Speak to Me, Breathe, On the Run, Time, The Great Gig in the Sky, Money, Us and Them, Any Color You Like, Brain Damage, Eclipse. I probably just should have said all of Dark Side. Wish You Were Here, Comfortably Numb, and Run Like Hell. So the second, with the DVD, the second disc is basically the same, but the first part, I think Shine On You Crazy Diamond's longer, I'm honestly not sure, but it doesn't have Astronomy Domine or What Do You Want From Me, and it has One of These Days. So not really sure why the track differences is. It would have been really cool, I think, to have Astronomy Domine on the DVD because, I don't know, just to have the Sid stuff represented, I like that. And I like that it's on here, even though I don't think it's not really that great of a version of it. It's definitely not as good as like the Ummagumma version, if I want to hear a live version of that song. What Do You Want From Me is cool. I actually like it a lot on here. I kind of wish that was on the DVD too because it, I don't know, it would have been better than Keep Talking, which I definitely like thought there were parts of that song that I liked when I listened to it on the Division Bell. Maybe it's just this live version's really bad, but now when I heard that, I was like, oh man, this song is just terrible like all the way through. So my opinion of that song is definitely like, kind of wasn't sure what to make of it before, but now I'm like, no, that song definitely sucks. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I've never been a huge fan of the version of Another Brick in the Wall on this for some reason. Didn't really like it that well on Delicate Sound of Thunder either. I mean, all the Dark Side stuff's fine. I mean, I'd rather listen to the actual album though than listen to the stuff live. Other than that, the only thing I can really think of to say is that Uncomfortably Numb, when they all kind of, the Roger parts, the singing on that, they have like a bunch of people singing together, and I've never thought that works. I've always thought that it sounded really horrible and like what were they thinking? Kind of like ruins the song to an extent. It's Paul's not the greatest live album or live DVD ever, but they're not bad for being, you know, this era of Pink Floyd, I guess. I honestly haven't seen the videos for the Delicate Sound of Thunder CDs, but I think that this one has a better track listing, I guess, overall, because it doesn't have as many of the Momentary Lapse songs on it, even though there are, I think, a few. I get confused as to what songs are from that and which songs are from the Division Bell. I'm just looking at the titles. I have to listen to them to remember. But yeah, it's kind of a not spectacular live album, but it's not bad. I mean, if you can find it for cheap, it's not bad to get. Or, I mean, it's online and everything, so there's not really a point to get it, I guess. But yeah, not horrible, not their best live work, but it's kind of okay.